Okay, let's try this again. Part 2. And it looks like everything is working this time. Funny how that happens, right? You do this for as long as I've been doing this, and you forget something as little as to making sure your microphone and the audio is working in the settings because it could reset for whatever reason. It reset. So we're back. We're yeah, good times. So now I got to go through and redo all this stuff. So just bear with me, folks. I apologize. We're getting back at it here. I know it's going to take a minute to get this out to you all. So there's usually a delay. So we'll try this again. There we go. Audio good, Gene. Thank you. Appreciate you letting me know, man. That's heck of a way to start the new year, right? So what was I saying before? I don't know. I was on a roll too. Damn, I hate when that happens. But it happens. It happens. I'm not perfect. It was you just assume that things are the settings hasn't been changed or nothing like that, and it happened. We're good. We're moving forward. Happy New Year, everybody. Wow, what a great way to start 2026. Am I right? What are you guys looking forward to this year? What are you looking forward to this year? 2025, great year. Blessed. A lot of great things that happen here professionally. Got to spend a lot of family time in 2025. Just blessed. Last year, great year. Looking forward to this year and what this year has to bring. So, my question to all of you is what are your plans for 2026? What are you looking forward to this year? Right? I'll share a few of mine. On a personal level. Just continuing to go to the gym a couple times a week, three days a week. Um, I wanted to what was here? What else? Either read or listen to at least 2 books a month. That's one of my things I want to do. Doc, what's up, brother? I see you over there. Brent over on IG, appreciate you. Um, thanks all of you for coming on. Appreciate it. Um, yeah, so reading the books, getting back into that, just kind of learning something new. Um, Another thing, most of you know that I'm a foodie. I love to eat. Sometimes even when I get bored, I just start feeding my face. Not going to do that this year. That's another thing. On a professional level, I want to continue the businesses to continue to grow. Last year here at Heroes Media Group, we grew quite a bit, and I want to continue that. But more importantly, I want to see us expand in a positive light where we're sharing more hero stories and stuff like that. We are a podcast network. We have created this community over the last 10 years and even before that, with some of the shows that I had from a previous venture. So we have the Heroes Media Group network here. We're a group of podcasters, authors, writers. It's a solid community of what we've created here, and it's only going to get bigger. Especially, we have a lot of military veterans in this community here at HMG, and I'm looking forward to growing this and expanding this network for our community heroes. And that could be anybody. It's more of a let's be positive about things moving forward. So we have a community here. We've built this community over the last 10 years. I'm proud of what we've done, and I couldn't have done it without all of you. What do we have here? Gene, yes, thank you for sharing that. I love it. I love it. Yes. This is going to be the best. I hope and pray for everybody that watches this moving forward that 2026 is your best year yet. David Gordon, what's up, brother? Good morning to you. Appreciate you. Happy New Year. I'm excited. I'm excited about 2026, and that's not something I'm just kind of like, oh, it's another day. Um, but it's not. It's letting go of some things in the past and moving forward in a more positive light. That's really what we're all about. I want this network, this community to grow. I need your help. Can't do it alone. And we did a pretty good job in 2025, and I'm looking forward to what 2026 is going to bring as well. Some of the other things for HMG, and as I explained in the previous, before I realized the audio wasn't working, um, teleprompter's not working great, so I'm going to have to be looking this way a lot today. We got a new studio that we're hoping to open up this fall. We got more events coming up this year. One of the goals is to, well, one of the things that we have coming up is Podfest here in like less than 2 weeks away, down in Orlando, Florida. Then we have Military Creator Con in Arlington, Texas, and I'll be posting about that stuff. Ken, good morning to you, brother. Appreciate you. Happy New Year. What else do we have? We also have some other things going on, but one of the things I want to do is I want to support more local events. And I say local meaning in your area. So those of you that are watching, that listen, whether you're live now or you watch this later on, whether you're already a part of the Heroes Media Group network or you have something in your area or one of our viewers or readers or one of our listeners, if you got stuff going on this year in your area and you want us to show up, if we can, let's do it. Let's get out there. Let's set up a table. Let's expand this community and let's grow this community together. I would love to come out and see more of you people. Some of you I've never met before. So I would love to come out and I'd love to get the shows out there and get more involved in your community this year. One of the other things I'm really excited about too, I haven't done stuff in years for the network, is we got a new challenge coin that's being done right now, and we should have that hopefully February 1, fingers crossed, and I'll share that more. But that's one of the other things that I have that I'm excited about coming up here pretty soon, and more shows, adding more shows to the network, being a part of this community. I think it's going to happen. I'm optimistic about this year, and yeah, that's how it's going to be. I'm just going to be more positive and positive in a sense of growing and helping other people get to where they want to go. This platform is for our community heroes, and a lot of people say, "Well, what's a community hero, Adam?" It's what we look at is, and I've said this before: military veterans, firefighters, first responders, educators. There's a clergy piece in there as well. But let's be honest. Everybody, it could be a hometown hero. It could be a guy that was somebody that started a business, was the valedictorian in your school and decided to create a business and give back to that community. That's a community hero. Somebody that's doing something for your community, just being a good freaking human being, right? Seems easy enough, right? Christina, good morning, sis. How are you? So let's make 2026 our best year yet. All right, guys, let's do it. And then here's the other thing I want you guys to think about are things that you're working on this year. If you need help, I expect you to reach out to us. I want you to reach out to us. Reach out to me, reach out to the network in the community here at Heroes Media Group. And how can we help you so you can get to where you want to go and accomplish what you want to accomplish in 2026? There's no better way for me. There's no better feeling than helping somebody get to where they want to go and then seeing that person achieve the goal that they have set. So let's make that happen in 2026. A lot going on. All right, now let's flip it. Let's flip it. Let's talk about some of the news topics that I found interesting this week. Put on your seatbelts, folks. Strap in. We got some crazy stuff going on this morning. I want to talk about AI security at the New Year's Eve in Times Square. There's a lot of things. How do I say this? Using like video and AI surveillance, aka facial recognition. Um, in in Times Square. Now, New York's got a big thing on this. You have to read about it. I'm not going to get too down that rabbit hole, but the they got a big thing about the facial recognition in New York specifically, which I'm kind of surprised. Like it's not supposed to happen. It's a breach of privacy. Um, but AI can some of the AI tools that they were using during the New Year's Eve stuff up there in New York at Times Square can pick out certain threats. They had a mobile screening area, so people literally mobile cops were going around screening potential threats and whatnot. What are you guys' thoughts on AI? We're in 2026 now. This is happening. It's moving forward. You guys have heard me talk about it last year. Um, I'm not a big fan of it. I'm not a big fan of the facial recognition because it's China's been doing it for years. And let's be honest, we're one could assume that certain agencies are already using this type of technology and have been here in the United States. I'll just say it like that. David, it does make you a hero. It's called self-control, my friend. I appreciate it. That's funny. So what are you guys' thoughts on facial recognition? And then moving forward, I'm seeing there's a lot more. Like if you plan on traveling out of the country, I think it was starting this year, that you'll have to set up like the facial IDs and stuff like that. And I think it was to either leave or to get back. I know some European countries are doing that. So thoughts on AI? Leave your comments. We're going to move on because I got a bunch of them here today. Health Department pauses child care funding to Minnesota, citing state fraud scandal. I, for one, am shocked. I didn't see this one coming. This has been a big thing this week. You know, the whole scandal, the young man walking around, you know, and some of the stuff that he covered. You know, he went to these daycare centers. There was no children. People answered the door and you know said no without doing an interview. But at the same time, there wasn't any kids there. And then some people came back and like, oh, we were closed. Like, you're closed. What were you doing there? One. And two, it's like, I don't know. Where was that money going to then? The Department, let me see, the Department of Health and Human Services has frozen child care payments to Minnesota in a wake of what the agency says is fraud at daycares in the state. And it's tightened restriction on other payments across the country. Is this going to be the new thing in 2026? What's going to happen with this moving forward? And what kind of a damper does it put on people with kids that are being legit using the child care money that's being provided? So it's gonna be interesting. Tony Abrascato, good morning to you and happy new year, you beautiful bastard. You good to see you, brother. Gene, I agree with you there. Yeah. So the child care fraud case, I think it's interesting, and I'd love to see some more names come out of that, and see how it's being, who specifically was involved. Now, I know I say that, and some of you are like, Adam, that's never going to happen. We still haven't heard anything from the Epstein files. I'll get into that later, but when are we going to start seeing things, and when are we going to start seeing people being held accountable for stuff like this? Jeremiah Hardy, what's up, brother? How are you? I'm going to put this up here and talking about facial recognition. I agree with Jeremiah on this one. Jeremiah's got a show on the network here, we're going to talk about here in a little bit. Yeah, facial recognition. It's crazy. Keep leaving the comments. I love it. Now, Swit, what are you guys' thoughts on the childcare scandal. What's next? It's a great question. Let's move on. Healthcare stuff. I didn't necessarily find an article on this, but I know some of the changes, uh, cross section of the United States, like launching millions of Americans into the like insurance hikes for their health care, like Medicaid and Medicare. And most of the people that are affected by this, I think, um, people that are self-employed, small business owners, farmers, and ranchers, like that for those four specifically are really affected by this, and that should be scary. Farmers and ranchers and small businesses, those ones that help run America, right? What are you guys' thoughts on this? This is I'm kind of interested to see what's going to happen, and if this affects you, how does it affect you? This is something we're probably going to be covering here in the next couple of weeks. I'm interested to see what's going to happen with the healthcare stuff. Um, Ken, I can't, I'm not reading that, but that's yeah. It'd be nice to see if certain people were held accountable. Absolutely. AJ Richards, Happy New Year, brother. I see you over there on the IG. Farmers and ranchers, big part of America and what we need right now, right? Buy from your local ranchers and farmers. Go to fromthefarm.com. AJ Richards is over on Instagram. I'm pointing, like you guys are going to see what the hell I'm pointing at. But anyway, so healthcare stuff. What are you guys' thoughts on that? I got to move forward, guys. I'll catch up with the comments. Keep them coming, please. America 250. It's happening this year, right? We are celebrating 250 years of the greatest country in the world. Are we the greatest country in the world? Yes. And I just real quick, it's from thefarm.org. I apologize. AJ, thank you for the correction. Buy local from your local farmers and ranchers from thefarm.org. Best thing you'll ever do this year. Make a point to do that this year. Thank you, AJ. Appreciate that. America 250. Where was I? America 250. We're celebrating 250 years of the greatest country in the world. I believe it. I believe it. And we're going to be there. We're going to be in Philly where it all started in July. We'll be in Philadelphia for America's 250. How many of you remember when MTV first came out? 44 years ago, MTV. How many people remember the very first video that they showed on MTV? Well, unfortunately, it's an end of an era for MTV. The music channels are shutting down after 44 years of broadcasting music, videos, concerts, countdowns. Channels like MTV Music, MTV 80s, 90s, Club MTV, MTV Live. It goes dark. It's done. It happened. It went dark the other day. It only leaves the flagship channel MTV, which is basically focused on like pop culture and like reality TV stuff, which I call crap. That's my opinion. I'm not a big reality TV person. I really don't watch TV, period. So it's sad. Yeah, I used to like watching the old videos and stuff like that. Gene said he was too young. That's debatable. I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Sorry, buddy. Ryan Williams over in LinkedIn. Video killed the radio star. That is correct, I believe. Yes. Yeah. So MTV, an end of an era, man. I remember as a kid watching MTV. I remember getting yelled at. Hey, you're not supposed to be watching that. And then as you get older, you start watching MTV and the videos and stuff like that. So it, times are changing again, right? All right, let's move. All right, we're doing good. All right, we're doing good. Let me see here. I got two more here. This one's a big one. What are you guys' thoughts on this? Soda candy cut for mini SNAP users starting January 1, yesterday, and what states are affected by this? And is this a good move? Honest opinions, guys. Millions of SNAP recipients are about to face new limitations on what they can use federal assistance program to buy, including bans on soda, energy drinks, and candy. This is according to the Department of Agriculture. At least 18 states will implement changes to the federal supplemental nutrition assistance program that started yesterday. According to the USDA, first up in January, Indiana, Iowa, Nebraska, Utah, West Virginia. There's about 13 more states to come. But basically, what they're saying is that you can't use the federal money to purchase crap, candy, a lot of sugary stuff, non-nutrition items. I'll put it that way. Need to require. Yeah, I like this. Yeah. We got need to require a drug test for SNAP too. That wouldn't be a bad thing. Every American who wants to eat a donut ought to be able to eat or drink a Coke. This is from Robert Kennedy. Said this in early 2025. But the federal taxpayer should not be paying to poison our children, and we're going to end that. And that's exactly what they're doing. I gotta say, this is I think this is a good move. I think this is a good move. We have an obesity problem. We have a very unhealthy problem here in the United States with people. Some of us like to. I indulge in some sugary stuff, especially during the holidays. But that cut yesterday. Not a big soda drinker. Sometimes if like the wife and I go to a restaurant or something, I might get a soda, but it's usually water or like non-sugar iced tea. I know I'm kind of boring that way, but I'm getting old too. So it's like you gotta kind of watch it, right? I like this. I'm gonna put AJ's comment up here. That's how it should be. USDA also moving to make acceptance by family farmers and ranchers online. Okay. I like that. David Gordon. Rations. Yeah, let's ration this stuff out. Gene Campbell, Gene was just a teenager a few years ago. Just a few years ago. Yeah, it's food stamps. Food stamps allows for soda and candy and stuff like that. Again, I think this is a good move. Why should the American taxpayers be paying for people to eat crappy stuff? Again, if you got a sweet tooth, I don't mind it every now and then. Hunting season roll around, you get those little Debbie cakes. I have a box of, one of those every now and then, but I'm not big on sugar. And let me ask you this for the older folks out there, like my age and older. As you get older, do you just lose kind of the sweet tooth? Rich LaMonica, what's up, brother? Happy New Year to you. I appreciate you jumping on. I'm not a big sweet tooth guy anymore. It's lost its. I don't like it. Maybe that's just me, but does anybody else feel the same way about sweets? So I think this is a good move. All right. Last one, and then I got to get into the shows here, guys. But this last one, I'm probably going to rub some people the wrong way. That's my kind of warning into this. But the U.S. taps Boeing to build F-15s for Israel under an $8.6 billion contract. Now, this part of this was approved last November in 2024. And it was at like 5.3, 5.2, something like that. Don't quote me on the price, but it was much lower than what it is now. Is this what we? Let me go into this first. The U.S. government is slated to allocate. The U.S. government is slated to allocate $8.6 billion to Boeing. Government is slated to allocate $8.6 billion to Boeing for the sale of 25 F-15 fighter jets to Israel, the Pentagon announced earlier this week. And according to the statement, the deal covers the protection of the F-15 IA version of the fighter jet with the option for an additional 25 such aircraft. The Pentagon announcement came at the end of President Donald Trump's meeting with Israel Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu at Mar-a-Lago in Florida, and is considered Israel's largest known defense procurement deal. The F-15 deal was originally agreed uh, between the two countries November of 2024, which I said, it stood to be at 5.2 billion. Okay, so I was close. The funds are a part of a multi-year defense assistance agreement between Israel and the United States. Something about this doesn't sit right with me. I can't put my finger exactly on it, but it with everything else that's going on, I just feel like this is, I don't want to say wrong. It doesn't feel right to me. Something there doesn't feel it doesn't feel right to me. US government is slated to allocate 8.6 billion to Boeing for Israel. I just, with everything going on, again, it's take it how you want, but I think we need to keep an eye on this stuff. And now that we are in the beginning of the year, oh, David, I'm going to put that on there. Yeah. I warned us. Nobody's listening. You're damn right. Nobody's listening. Rich, it certainly doesn't feel kosher. I just this is, I think, with everything that's going on, and God, I really, am I going to do this early in the year? Is this what we voted for? Is this, and I say this, I said the people that voted for Trump, is this what was voted for? I think it's starting to look like it's the same thing, just a different mask. Oof. Yeah. I'm I'd like to say sorry to all y'all, and don't be mad at me. I'm just I mean, you can be mad at me all you want. It doesn't seem like it is. Yeah, it doesn't seem right, and it's starting to feel like certain things are being uh put in front of us again. I said it earlier last year. We're in a psyop right now, and it's, who are the string pullers, and they're there. Everything's hidden right out in the open. We just got to dissect it and put the puzzle pieces together. And whether you believe me or not, this is all stuff that you can go look up yourself. But you know, I think if anything, how come we haven't heard more about the Diddy case? How come we haven't heard more about the Epstein files? Why aren't people being held accountable in those cases? And if they are, why aren't they making it public? Uh, are there military tribunals going on and whatnot? Um, yeah, Rich says that the Mick will come out roses no matter the admin. Yeah, and that's the case. It's kind of like um we're just here, and it's, again, we're not part of that bigger club that is the string pullers. I'm going to bring up one last one. I got an alibi with this, and kind of ties in with this. How many of you saw the Sean Ryan thing? This is a little old news already, a week or two old already, but Sean Ryan, not a part of HMG, but has a podcast show, and he called out Congressman Dan Crenshaw, a fellow, I say fellow veteran, but a former Navy SEAL, Sean Ryan, Navy SEAL, calling out Dan Crenshaw. And one of the questions that was asked, and I think it's a fair question to ask, like, how do Congress people that have $170, $1,000 plus a year salary worth millions and millions of dollars. Now, I know the easy answer is going to be insider trading, and we all know that. But there's more to it than that. But instead of answering the question, Congressman Crenshaw appeared to have dodged the question. So, David Gordon, he's delivering 80% of what I wanted. I'm assuming you're talking about President Trump, and that's a good thing. You know, I'm not saying that things aren't getting done. Let me be clear on this. I'm not downplaying what this current administration has done. I'm not doing that. I'm not downplaying that. I am saying that there are certain things that kind of fall in line with just everything else. It's like, oh, this is bad, this is really bad, and now we got to make up for it in the back end somewhere else. I see the Epstein, and I agree with you there. You know, Dave says the Epstein Diddy, none of that crap really care about, and I get that. Um, but I think from that point of it is if the Epstein stuff and the Diddy stuff, and there was particularly with the Epstein stuff, there was sex trafficking involved, and there was politicians that were involved. I mean, let's be honest, like the sex trafficking and human trafficking in general is, a, you know, one of the largest money makers in the world, and it needs to get fixed. I think if you're especially if you're trafficking children, there's a special place in hell for you, my opinion. So yeah, Rich, I saw that. So Rich LaMonica from the Misfit Nation podcast. This was actually supposed to happen today. The Ryan and Crenshaw face to face was supposed to happen today, and Sean Ryan called it off. I just saw that yesterday or this morning. More SEAL drama. Yeah, you know what happened? You know, military guys, veterans out there. There's a lot of you that are on right now. What happened to the silent professional community? Do you guys remember that? Like, I'll call it the good old days when you didn't talk about what you were doing, you know, and now everybody's got to get a book deal, and everybody's got to do this, and everybody's got to do that. I'm not, you know, whatever. Make your money when you get out of the military, do that. But it's like at the same time, it's like there was a time in my life during my military career, as short as it was you didn't talk about certain things. You didn't talk about certain groups. You certainly didn't talk about the special operations community. Those were ghosts. And I personally, I was not a part of that community, but you know, you hear about it when you're in the military, you hear about said communities. But I think when it comes to the public side, there's a reason why you don't hear about those. And I think we should have probably kept it that way. Let me see. Whenever one or the other has an issue, all of a sudden Epstein file, Diddy list, etc., will come out to change focus. Yeah, I'm just, you know, here's the thing, and it's like, does it affect me? Does any of those cases affect me directly? Probably not. No. But the fact that politicians were involved, the people of the United States elected into office, and people are getting away with probably a lot of illegal activity. You know, if let me flip it to you like this: if any of one of us were involved in some stuff like that, we'd be behind bars immediately. But because you're in a political elected position that we the people elected you for, somehow you get exempt from that. I just think that, I don't know. Yeah. Well, let's set the tone, Adam. Way to go. Yeah. Happy New Year. Whatever. I get so Ken, I would if you and Dave want to write a book about all the dumb shit that you two have done, I will publish that for free. I said what I said, and it's right here live. So put it together. Let's make that happen. All right, guys, let's get into let's get into some of the shows. And before we do, again, let's have a great year this year. Those of you that are on right now, as I said at the beginning of the show, if you missed it, 25 was a great year. 26 is going to be a better year, I think. And I pray that each and every one of you, that 26 is your best year yet. What we've created here at Heroes Media Group is nothing short of spectacular, in my opinion. We've got great podcast hosts. We've got writers. We've got the behind the scene team with our IT department and stuff like that. And it has been a great 10 years. And now we're looking at year number 11. I want this community that we have here. It's not just a podcast community. I want everybody involved. I want to hear about your community heroes. And a lot of people have a hard time about that. Like, what do you define as a community hero? And I mentioned earlier, military veterans, firefighters, first responders, law enforcement, educators, and clergy. But it could be your neighbor. If somebody in your neighborhood is making a difference and giving back to the community, let's highlight that person. Let's do that, and let's collab, and let's change everybody's mindset, and let's shift 2026. I'm not saying like, oh, this is gonna be kumbaya and unicorns and rainbows and all that other shit. I'm not saying that, but that doesn't mean we can't move towards a positive light. Let's spread more positivity. Let's spread more joy. Let's be there for each other this year. I want to come out and meet you guys. We HMG as a whole wants to be in your community more this year. So if you have stuff that's coming up in 2026, let us know. So myself, one of the show hosts, or whatnot, we can get out there and be a part of what you're doing in the community. Would love to be a part of it. That being said, Podfest 2026 is just a couple of weeks, less than 2 weeks away. January 15th through the 18th, Orlando, Florida. Come see yours truly. I'll be speaking on Saturday, I think at 3. It's the world's largest podcast event. It's gonna be awesome. Check it out. Also, military, we got a new event coming April 16th through the 18th. And I'm trying to get this in my working. There we go. Military Creator Con. This is for all military veterans, spouses, children. April 16th through the 18th in Arlington, Texas, which is like a suburb there of Dallas. I'm looking forward. We'll be down there. I'll be down there for a couple of days. So if you're in that area, would love to meet up with you. Put that on your calendar. Those are the two things that we got coming up right now. Actually, Allied in February, we'll be at the NRA Great American Outdoor Show again this year, middle of February. I don't have the dates on here, but if you go to the Great American Outdoor Show, it's about 9 days long. If you're a outdoorsman, you like to hunt and fish, this is the place you want to be. It's the world's largest. It's awesome. And we're going to be up there doing a lot of video content, meeting with some of our HMG sponsors that we have that are at the show. And it's awesome. It's going to be a good time. Come check it out. Let's dive into some of the shows. We got the Double S podcast is going live tonight on Double S podcast on their YouTube channel, but they'll also be here live on Heroes Media Group tonight, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Gene, if you're still on, leave a comment below on what you guys are talking about tonight on the Double S podcast. Women of War, from Bosnia to the Crown. Angel Rios on service strength and self-belief. From tactical boots to heels, Angel didn't leave behind the warrior when she stepped onto the pageant stage. She brought it with her. This was a really cool episode. She talks about deploying to Bosnia in the early days of her service, how military shaped her voice and identity, and how she continues to advocate for veterans and build confidence in others. Women of War, it's one of our newer shows, and joining me next Friday is the host of Women of War, retired Lieutenant Colonel Olivia Nunn will be the co-hosting with me next week. And we'll get to learn a little bit more about Olivia and some of her shows that she has. She's got another one here called the Unbreakable Storm podcast. This week, diagnosed to die. Oof. Determined to rise. Brandy Benson's comeback story. At 24 years old, Brandy was living her dream, serving in the United States Army, chasing goals, building future with purpose. But life came to a screeching halt, and she was diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. It's a rare and aggressive form of cancer, and this happened while she was deployed. Yeah. Tough, but amazing story. The Unbreakable Storm podcast. You check that out. Don't forget, guys, all these podcasts that I'm talking about, you can find them at heroesmediagroup.com. Go check them out. Show them some love. Next up, we got the strategic veteran this week. Russ Torgensen shows how a 31-year Coast Guard career as a rescue swimmer and pilot shaped his identity, and how losing his identity nearly destroyed him after retirement. Talks about PTSD, depression, alcohol, and the long road that his comeback road, basically. So it's called the Strategic Veteran. That's this week's show. Check it out. Next up, the Disgruntled PM this week. Trevor's talking about AI can't do it all for you. And we're talking about the human approach when it comes to your resume. So those of you that need to put a resume together, this week he's talking about Marcia, an expert in the field, shares her insights on how to craft a resume that not only highlights skills and experiences, but also reflects your personality. They discuss the importance of metrics versus storytelling and involving role of AI in resume writing, but make sure that you put the human factor behind it. The Disgruntled PM, check it out. J-Mac podcast, I'm bringing him up. He doesn't have a new interview, but he did do his show down at the Wigwam in Litchfield Park, Arizona this past weekend, and he killed it down there. And one of the people that he got to interview at this event was Papa Snoop. Snoop Dogg's father, who is a Vietnam veteran. So that was pretty cool. J-Mac podcast, you go check that out. Next up, we got Vet SOS. Nonprofit organization. They got a couple of different shows under that umbrella. They got the Vet SOS show. They also have the Veteran Entrepreneurial Spotlight, and they have The Scoop. All great shows this week. Go check it out, the Vet SOS. Next up, we got Speak Up, Show Up, Lead podcast with JJ Hardy. Jeremiah was in here a little bit ago. Most people blame burnout when the real issue is lack of structure. Right? I think this was a really cool episode. Lack of structure, boundaries, and personal ownership. This week, he does a video. He breaks down the hard truth, what most leaders avoid. Exhaustion isn't always the enemy. Chaos is. Some of the things that you're going to learn, the real difference between burnout, lack of structure, why undisciplined leaders feel overwhelmed and stuck, and what leaders must own before blaming the job, the team, or the system. Amazing. Go check it out. Ryan Williams. Yes. Other Side of the Firewall had a great year. 24,000 weekly listeners. In fact, that's literally who we're going to talk about next is The Other Side of the Firewall. This has been a show. I met Ryan a couple years ago in Tampa, I believe. Other Side of the Firewall is one of those shows where it's like, it's AI, it's cybersecurity, and it's stuff that we really need to. I've said this before. We really need to start paying attention to this stuff, and it's good to have a show like this that kind of breaks things down into layman's terms. This week, Ryan and Shannon, they discussed the increasing cyber threats to agriculture, particularly in the context of recent attacks on food companies. How scary is that? They highlight the need for improved cybersecurity measures in the agricultural sector, especially as technology becomes more integrated into farming practices. AJ Richards, if you're listening, get in touch. This would be a great one for you as well over there at fromthefarms.org. Other Side of the Firewall, They killed it. They do. They get about 13,000 downloads a week. 24,000 listeners, 24,000 weekly listeners. Ryan says it's one of those shows where like you need to educate yourself. Other side of the firewall. Check it out. Ryan Williams Sr. heads this up. He's a great guy. Blessed to have him on the network. Okay, what else we got? We got what's next? Patriots Inside the Wire. That's going to be changing here in February, but the shows are Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights from 4 to 6 p.m. You can check them out. Misfit Nation podcast. Rich LaMonica was on just a minute ago. This week, he welcomes Arlene Miller, CEO of Jewel Consultancy. Hope I said that right. And a certified work-life harmony and leadership coach. Her signature topics include negotiating from the heart, finding confidence and clarity in difficult conversations. Also talks about from stress to serenity, 3 keys to transform your life and well-being. So this was a great episode. Check it out. Misfit Nation podcast. They do a couple of episodes each week. Check it out. Great group. We got your 6 at 6 with the People's Patriot Project every Sunday night, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. But it's not just that. They do, I think it's Tuesday or Thursday. They do a couple shows a week, but we're focusing on the 6 p.m. Central Standard Time on Sunday nights. This week, they sit down with Chris Lamott, a Desert Storm era veteran whose journey home came with challenges from service members that quietly carry. Chris opens up about his personal Magnus story, sharing how lived experience turned into purpose through Magnus Veterans Foundation, nonprofit organization that he founded. They also feature special music from Emily Perkins, a Blue Star mom whose son recently completed his service in the Navy aboard the USS George H.W. Bush. Great episodes, as always, from the People's Patriot Project. They do a lot, too. Good organization. Love it. Just making sure I'm not missing anything here. Next up, we got Chasing Happiness. Are you feeling anxious, overwhelmed? Sure, it's the new year, right? Maybe you're stuck in a financial storm. That seems to be the thing. And it's tax season, right? Ryan shares openly about his own personal struggles, stress, putting extra dollar into the business, and what it's like to feel late on bills and alone in the fight. I think all of us have been there at one point or another, but Ryan really does a great job at kind of what he's done to overcome these things. Chasing Happiness, check it out. Rise Up, Voices from the Front Line, the myth of endless grit. This week, they explore the paradox of fire as fuel and fire as destruction. What does it mean for a leader to burn brightly without burning out? How can passion be harnessed as energy for transformation rather than for chaos? This was a great episode. Rise Up, Voices from the Front Lines. Ryan Williams, you are welcome, sir. Appreciate you. Hey, let me give some shout outs. We've got some groups that came back on for the 2026 season. I got to give a shout out to Jim Neary's Live Bait and Tackle. Jim and Gino down there in Kirkwood, Pennsylvania. I get a lot of my fishing stuff from them and whatnot, and they've sponsored me in fishing tournaments and stuff like that throughout the years. The big supporters. Jim Neary's Live Bait and Tackle is a veteran-owned. Jim was a motor T guy for the Marine Corps. So good feller, and we appreciate their support. My tax fella, Anthony Moriello, has been my tax guy for the last probably 13 years, 14 years. And he does all of the business stuff since 2015. So go check him out. If you guys need help with your taxes and stuff like that, go check out mytaxfella.com. We got a new sponsor this year, Green Valley Hunters Paradise. You guys heard me talk about them before. This is a great organization down in Bath County, Virginia. It's out in the middle of nowhere. I'm not even going to lie, but it is breathtaking. It's amazing. If you're looking for a place to go, if you're a hunter, They do weekly hunts. They do day hunts. They do like 3-day hunts. They got a lot of different things. They do not have a website. We're working on that. But they do have a Facebook page. You can reach out to them on Facebook, Green Valley Hunters Paradise. Go check them out. Forget Genetics, veteran owned. I'm giving Barry a shout out. He's my man. If you want wildlife in your yard, go get the Forget Genetics products. Go to forgetgenetics.com and check it out. It's veteran owned, family run. The whole family are just wonderful people. And these are the types of companies that I like working with because they're just good people. They do a lot for the community as a whole. And then last but not least, our sister company, HMG Beverage. In fact, let's do this. If you stuck on here this long, use promo code. If you go to hmgcoffee.com, and use promo code HMG10, I'll give you 10% off your first purchase. 10% off right now. Next week, there's going to be another promo code, but you're going to have to tune in live next week to find out what it is and what it's going to be. So that's it, guys. Happy New Year. Let's make 2026 our best year yet. I appreciate all of you guys that leave comments each and every week. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your support. I appreciate you guys more than words can even describe. But I got to go. I got to do today. All right. I got stuff to do today. We got phone calls. We got because it's the start of a new year, and I'm not taking it easy. I've got it in overdrive. And again, I appreciate you guys. Happy New Year. Let's come up with your goals. If you got something going on this year, I want to know about it and let us know how we can help you. How can your community, this community here, help you get to where you want to go this year? God bless you. God bless America. You guys have a great week. I'll see you guys next Friday.